In the next few minutes, I'm going to expose 10 American burger chains that have failed to address antibiotic overuse in their beef supply, putting your health at risk while hiding behind familiar logos and nostalgic advertising. Plus, I'll reveal the 3 burger restaurants that actually source beef raised without routine antibiotics, proving that better choices exist. Stay until the end, because number 1 sets the standard every chain should follow, but almost none do. Let's start with what's really between those familiar buns. 10. Jack in the Box. Starting at number 10, Jack in the Box earned a failing grade in the 2021 Chain Reaction Scorecard for taking absolutely no public action to reduce antibiotic overuse in their beef supplies. This isn't about nitpicking minor issues. This is about a complete absence of policy, implementation, monitoring, or even basic communication about one of the most critical public health challenges we face today. The scorecard evaluated companies on their antibiotic use policies specifically for beef, and Jack in the Box showed zero commitment to addressing the problem. What makes this particularly concerning for regular customers is that antibiotic overuse in livestock directly contributes to the rise of antibiotic-resistant bacteria. When you consume beef from animals treated with routine antibiotics, you're potentially exposed to resistant bacteria that make common infections harder to treat. For older adults whose immune systems naturally weaken with age, this poses serious health risks that go far beyond just enjoying a quick burger. Jack in the Box's complete inaction tells you everything about their priorities, and your health clearly isn't among them. 9. Dairy Queen. At number 9, Dairy Queen also received an F grade in the 2021 Chain Reaction Scorecard, joining the ranks of chains that have taken no meaningful steps to protect customers from antibiotic overuse risks. The scorecard specifically grades companies on their policies, implementation efforts, monitoring practices, and public transparency regarding antibiotic use in beef supplies. Dairy Queen failed across every single category. Many of us grew up treating ourselves to Dairy Queen after Little League games or on hot summer evenings, and that nostalgia runs deep. But nostalgia shouldn't blind us to current realities about food safety and public health responsibility. The restaurant industry has had years to address antibiotic overuse, with plenty of smaller chains already proving it can be done without sacrificing taste or affordability. Dairy Queen's failure to even announce a policy means they haven't committed to change, haven't set timelines, and haven't given customers any reason to believe improvement is coming. For adults managing health conditions that require antibiotic treatments, consuming beef raised with routine antibiotics creates additional risks by potentially reducing the effectiveness of medications you might desperately need someday. 8. Sonic Drive-In. Coming in at number 8, Sonic Drive-In earned its F grade in the 2021 Chain Reaction Report for the same troubling reason as the chains before it: absolutely no public action to reduce antibiotic overuse in beef supplies. The grading criteria examined whether companies had established policies about antibiotic use, whether they were actually implementing those policies, whether they monitored compliance, and whether they communicated honestly with the public about their practices. Sonic failed every measure. What's particularly frustrating is that this isn't complicated science or unreasonable demands. This is basic food safety stewardship that protects both customers and the broader public health infrastructure we all depend on. When livestock operations use antibiotics routinely, not just to treat sick animals, but to promote growth and prevent disease in crowded conditions, they create perfect breeding grounds for resistant bacteria. Those bacteria don't stay on the farm. They enter our food supply, our water systems, and our communities. For people in their 40s, 50s, and beyond who may face surgeries, infections, or chronic conditions requiring antibiotic treatment, Sonic's complete lack of concern about this issue represents a genuine threat to your future health outcomes. 7. Steak 'n Shake. At number 7, Steak 'n Shake received a failing grade in the 2018 Chain Reaction Food Burger Edition report for lacking any announced policy to source beef raised without routine antibiotics. The report did note that some chains earning F grades may offer a raised without antibiotics burger option while still lacking a chain-wide antibiotics policy, suggesting inconsistent commitment rather than complete indifference. But here's the problem with offering one specialty option while continuing business as usual for everything else. It shows the company knows better options exist and can source them, but chooses not to make that standard practice. That's particularly frustrating for loyal customers who've been going to Steak 'n Shake for decades, trusting that familiar taste and those nostalgic memories. But trust requires responsibility, and responsibility means protecting customers from unnecessary health risks. The science is absolutely clear that routine antibiotic use in livestock contributes significantly to antibiotic resistance, one of the most serious public health threats of our time. For older adults who remember when antibiotics were miracle drugs that reliably cured infections, losing that protection because restaurants won't change their sourcing practices should be unacceptable. 6. Fuddruckers. Claiming the number 6 spot, Fuddruckers also received an F grade in the 2018 Chain Reaction 4 report for its beef sourcing policies related to antibiotics. Like Steak 'n Shake, the report noted that some failing chains may offer a raised without antibiotics burger option while lacking a comprehensive chain-wide policy on antibiotics use. This patchwork approach tells customers that Fuddruckers understands the issue and can source better beef, but simply won't make it standard across their menu. That's a choice, not an impossibility. Fuddruckers built its reputation on quality and customization, with their famous burger bar and fresh-made burgers. Many customers specifically chose Fuddruckers over cheaper fast food options because they believed they were getting higher quality. But quality means more than just taste and toppings. Quality includes responsible sourcing that doesn't contribute to antibiotic resistance threatening public health. For adults who've watched antibiotic resistance grow from a distant concern to a real crisis affecting people they know, Fuddruckers' failure to adopt chain-wide standards represents a betrayal of the quality they've always promised. 5. In-N-Out Burger. At number 5, In-N-Out Burger presents a particularly disappointing case because of the cult-like devotion this West Coast chain inspires. In-N-Out earned an F grade in the 2018 Chain Reaction 4 report for its antibiotics policies regarding beef. The report specifically noted that In-N-Out made a public pledge, but provided no committed timeline for implementing beef sourcing changes, which is almost worse than complete silence. Making a pledge acknowledges the problem and creates expectation for change, but refusing to commit to a timeline suggests that pledge is more public relations than genuine commitment. In-N-Out has always marketed itself as different from typical fast food, with never frozen beef, simple menus, and family values. Customers choose In-N-Out specifically because they believe the company operates with higher standards than competitors. But announcing concern about antibiotics while refusing to commit to actual change shows that those higher standards don't extend to one of the most pressing public health issues in modern food production. For longtime In-N-Out fans who've defended the chain for years, this disconnect between stated values and concrete action creates legitimate questions about what the company actually stands for beyond marketing. 4. Five Guys coming in at number 4. Five Guys received a failing grade in the 2018 Chain Reaction 4 report, with the scorecard describing F grades as reflecting a complete lack of announced policy to source beef raised without routine antibiotics. Five Guys has built tremendous success on quality ingredients, hand-cut fries, and customizable burgers made to order. Their prices reflect premium positioning, with burgers costing significantly more than typical fast food chains. Customers willingly pay those higher prices because Five Guys markets itself as better quality with better ingredients. But that premium pricing makes their failure to address antibiotic use even more inexcusable. If customers are paying premium prices, they deserve premium sourcing practices that protect their health and don't contribute to antibiotic resistance. The scientific consensus is overwhelming that routine antibiotic use in livestock drives resistance, making common infections harder to treat and putting vulnerable populations at serious risk. For adults with aging parents or grandchildren with developing immune systems, Five Guys' complete absence of antibiotics policy means choosing their burgers potentially contributes to health threats facing the people you love most. 3. White Castle. At number 3, White Castle earned a failing grade in the 2018 Chain Reaction 4 Burger Edition report for having no announced policy to source beef raised without routine antibiotics. White Castle holds a special place in American fast food history as one of the oldest burger chains, with those distinctive small square burgers creating fierce loyalty among generations of customers. That history and nostalgia make White Castle's failure particularly disappointing for people who've been eating their sliders since childhood. The underlying scorecard's stated basis for the F grade was straightforward. No announced policy to source beef raised without routine antibiotics. Not complicated requirements, not unrealistic demands. Simply any policy at all addressing one of the most critical public health challenges in modern food production. White Castle has had years to respond to growing concerns about antibiotic resistance, with plenty of evidence showing that routine livestock antibiotic use directly contributes to the problem. For older adults who remember when simple infections weren't life-threatening because antibiotics reliably worked, White Castle's continued refusal to address this issue shows concerning disregard for customer welfare and public health. 2. Burger King. Taking the number 2 spot, Burger King received failing grades in both the 2018 Chain Reaction 4 report and the 2021 Chain Reaction Scorecard, showing years of continued failure to address antibiotic overuse in beef supplies. In 2018, Burger King lacked any announced policy to source beef raised without routine antibiotics. By 2021, they still earned an F grade for taking no public action to reduce antibiotic overuse in beef supplies. That's not just failure, that's persistent failure despite years of mounting evidence and growing public concern about antibiotic resistance. The 2021 scorecard specifically evaluated chains on policy development, implementation efforts, monitoring practices, and public communication about antibiotic use in beef. Burger King failed every measure, showing they haven't even taken the first steps toward addressing this critical issue. For customers who've been eating Whoppers for decades, this complete absence of progress should raise serious questions about whether Burger King cares at all about customer health and safety. Antibiotic resistance kills approximately 35,000 Americans every year, with routine livestock antibiotic use being a major contributing factor. Burger King's years of inaction mean every burger potentially contributes to this growing crisis. 1. McDonald's. Taking the number 1 spot as the worst offender, McDonald's earned a failing grade in the 2018 Chain Reaction 4 Burger Edition report for lacking any announced policy to source beef raised without routine antibiotics. What makes McDonald's failure particularly egregious is their massive market dominance, meaning their sourcing decisions affect more customers and more cattle than any other chain. The report evaluated antibiotic use policies and practices specifically for beef supply chains across major burger restaurants, with McDonald's showing zero commitment to reducing routine antibiotic use. This stands in stark contrast to McDonald's chicken sourcing, where they did implement antibiotics policies after public pressure, proving they can change when they choose to. Their refusal to extend those standards to beef shows selective concern about public health based on convenience rather than principle. For the millions of Americans who eat at McDonald's regularly, many of them older adults with weakened immune systems and greater vulnerability to antibiotic-resistant infections, this failure represents a genuine health threat. McDonald's has the resources, the supply chain influence, and the market power to demand better practices from beef suppliers. Their choice not to use that power for public health protection shows that profits matter more than the customer welfare they claim to prioritize. When the biggest chain sets the lowest standards, it drags the entire industry down and puts everyone at risk. After exposing 10 major chains that have failed to protect customers from antibiotic overuse risks, here's the relief you've been waiting for. Not every burger restaurant has abandoned responsibility for public health. These 3 chains prove that sourcing beef raised without routine antibiotics is absolutely possible, even at competitive prices. They've made commitments, implemented policies, and earned recognition for actually caring about what goes into your burger and what that means for your health. The 3 best burger restaurants. 3. Wendy's. Starting our safer list at number 3, Wendy's shows that even large chains can make meaningful progress on antibiotic use when they commit to change. In the 2018 Chain Reaction 4 report, Wendy's received a D- grade based on partial sourcing tied to reduced use of one medically important antibiotic called Tylosin. That wasn't great, but it showed some awareness and initial effort. By the 2021 Chain Reaction Scorecard, Wendy's had moved up to a C grade after making a concrete commitment to prohibit routine use of medically important antibiotics in its beef supplies by the end of 2030, with additional commitment to track and report antibiotic use by 2024. That represents real progress with measurable goals and actual accountability. The 10-year timeline isn't perfect, and there's legitimate criticism that change should happen faster. But Wendy's is moving in the right direction with transparent commitments and reporting requirements. For customers who want to support companies making genuine efforts to improve, Wendy's demonstrates that change is possible when chains take responsibility seriously. Their willingness to commit to specific timelines and reporting shows respect for customer concerns and recognition that antibiotic resistance poses serious public health threats. While they're not perfect yet, Wendy's is actually trying, which puts them far ahead of the 10 chains that refuse to even acknowledge the problem. 2. BurgerFi. Coming in at number 2, BurgerFi earned an A rating in the 2018 Chain Reaction for Burger Edition report, representing excellence in beef sourcing practices. The report specifically stated that BurgerFi served only beef raised without antibiotics according to the scorecard's criteria. That means every burger, not just specialty options or limited selections, comes from cattle raised without routine antibiotic use. This is exactly what responsible sourcing looks like. BurgerFi proves that chains can build their entire business model around better practices without sacrificing taste, quality, or profitability. For health-conscious adults who want to enjoy burgers without contributing to antibiotic resistance or exposing themselves to unnecessary health risks, BurgerFi offers genuine peace of mind backed by independent verification. Their commitment to antibiotic-free beef shows they understand that food choices have consequences beyond immediate satisfaction, affecting both individual health and broader public health infrastructure. BurgerFi may not have the national presence of McDonald's or Burger King, but their growing success proves customers will support restaurants that prioritize health and responsibility. When you choose BurgerFi, you're voting with your dollars for the kind of sourcing practices that protect antibiotic effectiveness for future generations while enjoying a genuinely good burger today. 1. Shake Shack. Taking the top spot as the absolute best burger chain for antibiotic-free beef, Shake Shack earned an A rating in the 2018 Chain Reaction Full Burger Edition report, matching BurgerFi's commitment to excellence. The report clearly stated that Shake Shack served only beef raised without antibiotics according to the scorecard's strict criteria. Every burger at every location comes from cattle raised without routine antibiotic use. Period. No exceptions, no specialty upcharges, no complexity. Just consistent commitment to sourcing practices that protect public health while delivering the quality that's made Shake Shack beloved nationwide. What makes Shake Shack's achievement even more impressive is their rapid growth from a single hot dog cart in Madison Square Park to a national chain, proving that responsible sourcing scales successfully when companies make it a non-negotiable priority from the beginning. Shake Shack didn't wait for public pressure or failing grades to change their practices. They built antibiotic-free sourcing into their foundation because they recognized it was simply the right thing to do. For burger lovers who refuse to compromise between enjoying food and protecting health, Shake Shack offers the best of both worlds. Genuinely delicious burgers made from beef that doesn't contribute to antibiotic resistance threatening public health. Their success proves that quality and responsibility aren't competing values, but complementary commitments that create better outcomes for everyone. There you have it. 10 major burger chains that have failed to protect you from antibiotic overuse risks, and 3 that prove better practices are absolutely possible when companies choose responsibility over convenience. Next time you're deciding where to grab a burger, remember that your choices matter, not just for your immediate meal, but for the broader fight against antibiotic resistance affecting everyone. If this video changed how you think about your burger choices, share it with friends and family who deserve to know which chains actually care about their health. Thanks for watching, and here's to making informed decisions that protect both your health today and antibiotic effectiveness for tomorrow.